Thunderbolt docks delayed, Metro PCS joins T-Mobile USA, Starbucks making Passbook useful, The Magcast by Don McAllister, Adele sings Skyfall, the James Bond collection discounted in iTunes. It's Friday, October 5th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of iWake. So, today's show has got a lot of cool things to talk about. To begin, I just want to talk a little about, it's now the year anniversary of the passing of Steve Jobs. So I just want to, bring that up, we're now at a year. So if you haven't read the bio, I encourage you to do so. It's a, good excuse to do so. I read it last year when it came out, and a great read. I bought the hard copy, but I bought the iBooks version. That's where I ended up reading the entirety of the book. Just some thoughts. I remember basically that whole week for me, like when that announcement happened. I basically just gone back from a trip. That was I was at Cupertino's headquarters, Apple's headquarters, the Friday before he passed away, I believe on a Wednesday or Tuesday. And I remember being on the campus just days ago on a trip up at the Petaluma, California for the Mac Computer Expo, which is going on this weekend. I remember doing that trip and being on Mac Break Weekly's live coverage. And, a day later, I get back and I was in disbelief, I remember. I didn't believe it to be true. I thought it couldn't be true. Something like that, that I thought he had a couple more years at least. And it was just a shocking thing for me. So it's, I remember, September 11th, I was a kid in elementary school or middle school, and, I heard about planes crashing into buildings. I had no idea what that meant. It's like, big deal. I was a little kid and they didn't really explain it properly. This was something that was very personal, and I remember quite vividly that event, that time in my life, and I think I always will. It felt like a personal, like a family member had passed. So just want to share a little bit about my recollection, remembering back a year ago, and just how sad I was that I was at the Apple campus just days ago, and I saw images of the campus mourning the loss of him, and I could see that. I've been there just days ago, and the change. Anyways, it's been a year, and I just want to share a little bit about that. Next up, Thunderbolt docks. So a little bit change of mood here. Still sad news, but Thunderbolt docks are getting delayed. So many of you know that Apple's Thunderbolt display acts as a dock in many ways. It has Ethernet, FireWire, audio in and out, speakers, all sorts of things that are all done over Thunderbolt. Well, some third-party companies are working on this, and evidently they've all been delayed. Both Belkin and Matrox have delayed their units. They were supposed to ship out last month in September. Belkin's pushed it back to Q1 of 2013. Matrox is now December of 2012. So I'm not sure what the problem is, but evidently Thunderbolt is not as easy to work with as accessory people may have believed it could have been. So hopefully they get these products out the door. I really would like to get some of these, as Thunderbolt's a great connector, but currently it's not very useful for a whole lot of things. There's single one-off adapters by Apple. There's the cinema display that Apple sells with Thunderbolt, but I really want to see some third-party accessories developers make some stuff. So hopefully these come out and they're good products. Next up, Apple released just yesterday an OS X supplemental update for both Mountain Lion and Lion. So this is a little, not even a point release. It's a 10.8.2 supplemental update. So with Mountain Lion, we have fixes for Japanese characters not appearing correctly in mail. It now allows Safari to access secure sites when parental controls are enabled, and addresses an issue that may prevent systems with more than 64 gigabytes of RAM from starting up. If you have a machine with that much RAM, I'd love to play around with that. And resolves an issue that may cause the DVD player to unexpectedly quit. So that's Mountain Lion. For Lion users, 10.7.5 supplemental, it addresses an issue that may cause Time Machine backup to take a very long time to complete, and addresses an issue that may prevent certain apps signed with developer ID from launching. So basically fixes some bugs they did with Gatekeeper, it appears. So that's that. In the last, not the last bit of intro news, but next bit of news is iFi. I got an email this morning or yesterday morning from iFi that they released a new iFi card. It's a 16 gigabyte card. It's their largest capacity yet. It's priced at $100 in Amazon, shipping in 2 to 3 weeks, I believe. So it's what's different about this 16 gigabyte card from the other iFi cards. iFi cards, as many of you know, are SD cards they put in the cameras, and they automatically upload photos and videos to your computer and other places once they're on Wi-Fi. They're really cool, and the new 16 gigabyte card is now class 10, which improves the read-write speeds over the previous one, which was class 6. So it's now class 10. It's priced at $100. The old card was 8 gigabytes and was priced at $100. That price has been dropped to $79. So, and is available on Amazon for $75. So, with their Pro cards for the iFi lineup, which means they do geotagging and they upload raw photos as well. And if you're an iFi fan, and now you've got another option out there for you. Next up is something that kind of got me excited today. I got an email or something about this happening with T-Mobile and Metro PCS. That T-Mobile has not acquired Metro PCS, but they've combined their companies. So Metro PCS shareholders will receive $1.5 billion in cash and 26% ownership in a combined company with Metro PCS. So Metro PCS is a CDMA-based prepaid provider that is a big provider. They do a lot of service. I saw a bunch of them out in Los Angeles. They're big out there. And this is an interesting move for T-Mobile because they're CDMA and Metro PCS is CDMA. T-Mobile is GSM. So combining those, it'll be an interesting thing to see what happens with that. Will T-Mobile want to redo the towers that are there for GSM bands? I'm not sure. But anyways, that'll be an interesting development for that. But it's curious because I always thought T-Mobile was trying to get out of the United States market and try to sell it to other people. They seem to have gone the other direction, and they're expanding it and growing it, which I'm excited about. So this is great news. Next up, some Lightning news, some iOS 6 news, and iPhone 5 news. So first off, Parrot tweeted me that says, Parrot, for those that don't know, make the huge 20 unit docks for iOS devices and iPods. So you're able to dock 20 different things, sync it through one cable, and it's all good to go. So they have tweeted me saying they are working on a new product that will work with the Lightning connector. So that is happening. The other big thing that's happening is Passbook is now, or Starbucks has updated their app for Passbook. So what does this mean? So this means you can sign up for a Starbucks card and you're able to add it to your Passbook. So I have done that, and the cool thing with this is you're actually able to pay for drinks and food with Passbook now. So when you go to near a store, it will show you that you're by the store and you can swipe to get access to it. And the funny thing is, when I played around with this, is the thing stays up even if you go to the main screen and go past it, as long as you're in that area. If you're in that geofence, that will appear for you, and there's no way to get rid of it until you go in or just ignore it. So here's my Passbook. Let me just tap into here, and you got my card. So I don't think I showed that long enough for that to show anything there. But you have a balance in this card. Again, it's set to auto refill when you drop below a certain amount. It hooks in with PayPal. You can have it turned off to not show in the lock screen. And you can also select which are your favorite stores. So I've got 3 stores selected that'll geofence it for me. And this is a big move, and we're finally able to pay for stuff with Passbook. Before it was just tickets and things. This is the first place that we can actually pay for things with Passbook. So great stuff there. Now on to more Lightning news. Is a piece by iLounge. They have it from multiple sources that Apple's made significant changes for its made for iPhone, iPod, iPad program, the MFI program, which tightens control over the manufacturing of Lightning accessories. According to the sources, only Apple-approved manufacturing facilities will be allowed to produce Lightning connector accessories, even including third-party accessories. Moreover, Apple hasn't approved any factories yet, which the sources say will limit the number of Lightning accessories available in the near future. One source notes that Apple is planning an MFI seminar where we'll discuss changes to the program and the rules for Lightning accessory development going forward. The seminar will be held in November in China, notes the source, after the point at which third-party Lightning accessories could be manufactured in time for holiday seasons. So, yeah, after the point. So, they're noting here that in November, that's way too late for any holiday accessories. Sources also note that the connector has proved difficult to copy, reducing the near-time likelihood of unauthorized third-party connector cables. Basically, there's special chips and things that make it really hard to copy. And also, those third-party ones that we've seen by iTrons and the other one have been canceled. So they are not a thing anymore. They are no longer going to be for sale. And people may cast this off as a terrible thing that Apple's too much control, but I see this as Apple wants to make sure third-party accessories made with Lightning are quality accessories. Apple doesn't want to have junk shipping out and be used with their beautiful devices. I appreciate this, and doing it right is the best way to do it. Don't do it sloppy. Don't do it badly. I want quality products when I buy an accessory. I've got a lot of junky dock connector cables, and I wish they were all up to the standards that Apple had. So hopefully this will bring up standards of what we'll see, and I see this as a good move. So that's that. MFI has been around for a long time. 2004 or 5 was introduced for the iPod, and overall it's been a good program for Apple. Next up is the competitor watch. First up is just the mention that if you go to the Google Maps app, the web app I should say, you now have access to Street View. So that's a cool thing. Next up is TomTom for Android. It is now out. So one thing that Android people don't get maybe is that iOS users have tons of turn-by-turn apps. We have TomTom, we have Navigon, and it's been a big ecosystem of we have all these great apps for turn-by-turn. That's why it wasn't a huge deal for me, at least, that the built-in Maps app didn't have it for the longest of times. Well, now it's gone to Android. It has a similar feature set to iOS, but lacks the Foursquare integration that was recently added. It has turn-by-turn directions, multiple languages, speed camera notifications, HD traffic routing, and lifetime map updates. US and Canada and Western Europe editions are priced at $50 each, which is $10 cheaper than the iOS apps. It's listed as the introductory offer, so prices will probably go up. Of note, though, just as you expect with Android, are incompatible devices, a lot of them. We've got Galaxy Nexus, Nexus 7, HTC One X, Galaxy S3, and Galaxy Note noted as incompatible. Now, the big obvious one here is the Nexus 7 is a Wi-Fi device. Of course, that is incompatible as there's no GPS. So, but yeah, interesting that these other phones, the Galaxy S3 and Galaxy Nexus, are incompatible. So we'll see if they fix that. In other news is WebOS. Yes, it's back in the news. The website Powerbase has found more than 50 job postings at HP looking for developers in Sunnyvale, California, HP's home base, and Shanghai to work on WebOS and MU. So the positions range from internships to both senior designers and engineers. So lots of options there. And I love WebOS, and I'm excited to see it be further developed by HP in its now open source way it is now. The last competitor story of the day is Windows 8. It is launching, and there's a launch event. Engadget posts the event invite. You're invited to celebrate Windows 8, including a Microsoft Surface reception. So, you'll get to finally get your hands on that. October 25th is the day, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Registration closes at 11 a.m. And you have to RSVP October 18th if you are invited. I'd imagine this is going to be held in their Washington headquarters. So now let's close out the show with things in the media world, things in the video entertainment world, and all that wonderful arena that I partake in. First off is YouTube. Google has updated their takedown requirements to basically have it work with DMCA takedown notices. Before, if a content provider saw something that matched their content, they could just say to Google, "This is bad, take it down," and that was the end of that. There was no legal recourse for those people, and it really was a terrible thing for people like me that create content and are, sometimes use fair use content in like a tech news show. Well, now it's DMCA, so we actually have a mechanism to take people to court. It also will have a more... Basically, what this will do is reduce the number of requests that are for takedown notices, because it's a bigger deal and there are more repercussions if they screw up their takedown notices. There's a lot of false takedown notices, and this will help reduce that. Next up is something you guys are probably more interested in, is Netflix. They are doing their original content starting this February. There's now a little poster. Kevin Spacey, House of Cards, beginning February 1st on Netflix. This will be a Netflix exclusive product for the streaming market, and this is great. They outbid HBO, Showtime, and other places for this content, and I'm very excited to see how Netflix exclusive content will go. This is going to be a fun time to see just how the marketplace reacts to this. I might actually sign up once all of the content's there and watch it. Pay the $8 or get the free trial and actually watch what it is. So I'm currently not subscribed, as I use iTunes, and I would rather save the $8 and dedicate that towards iTunes purchases. But that may encourage me to go back and watch that exclusive content. Next up, I just want to point out that Don McAllister, he does Screencast Online, a great video podcast showing you how to do things on your Mac and iPhone. He's published for free on YouTube and his website what's he's calling the Magcast behind the looks video. It's about 40 minutes, and what it is it shows you how he developed his newsstand app. It shows all the steps that he went through to go from nothing to having a newsstand app. So it's a rather cool thing that he's put out there. It's something I'm going to watch. If you have any interest in newsstand and how it all works, this is a great thing to watch. So, Screencast Online, Don McAllister. I'll have links in the show notes for the YouTube and his direct link there to his website. And just of note, iWake again this week is going out tomorrow, Saturday. And this show this week will be with an interview I did yesterday with AppPress, who creates this newsstand product that you're able to go to this website and create newsstand apps from that. So it's a really cool solution, and I do an interview with how that all works and how it works, before newsstand, and just that whole, product and that whole solution. And newsstand is a very interesting topic for me, and I'm really excited to see more solutions like that come out. So finally today is Skyfall. We now, in James Bond in general, so it was big James Bond day yesterday. We now have Skyfall single, and we now know that Adele is the singer of the new James Bond movie. So if you're a fan of Adele, as I think many of you are, she sung the Skyfall single. It's now out, priced at $1.29. I picked it up, listened to it. I think it's a pretty good single. Not as good as Goldfinger or some of the other ones, but it's very enjoyable and worth the $1.29, I think. And that's out now. And also to note is for a limited time, they've reduced the prices of the James Bond movies in iTunes. This is your opportunity if you want digital copies of the James Bond movies to get them. If you want them in iTunes, this is your week-long, probably a week or so opportunity to get them at this reduced cost. So here's what they have. Originally, they were priced at $10 for SD and $15 for HD. Now they're priced at the incredible $5 for an SD movie and $10 for HD. So that works out to be $110 for the complete James Bond set of movies in SD, or $220 in HD. At $110, that's a really good buy for this 22 sets of films. If you just buy individually, and $110 for the SD versions. HD is much better in quality, but for double the cost, for me, it's not worth it. It might be for you, but for me, Apple's SD content really does look much better than I think even DVD. It's a good-looking copy that we get, and that's the way I think I'll be getting these at. And once my next paycheck comes through, I think I will invest the money to get these in SD. And I'm rather excited about that, because before, $15 and $10 were just too expensive to pick these up, and now we can get them at this reduced cost. So $5 and $10, get them while you can. They are all on sale, all new and old films, and there you go. Go on to iTunes to do that. Well, that's what's going on in the Apple world today. I just want to remind you that tomorrow is another day where I publish an iWake Again episode. That's my $10 a month show where you're able to fund iWake, become a part of making this happen by financially funding what I do here with iWake. Then head on over to iWakePodcast.com/again to make that happen. You also get access to the scripts I read from. Also to note, I do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/TCHATEN. That's where you can find videos I record. And I also do show notes over at iWakePodcast.com. Thanks for listening or watching to today's episode. I'll talk to, again, subscribers tomorrow. Everyone else, I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Aloha.